Hey everyone, it's Dwayne here. Welcome to another episode of a Snapshots from the Summit. 5 minutes or less, we share with you something that you can literally apply immediately to enable you to unlock the money vault, or further down the path to unlocking the money vault, escaping the cage that's keeping you in prison. Whether that's a 9 to 5 or whether that is a business that you have got that is just not doing it for you. So we're coming to you from the GC today. As you can see over my shoulders there, what a glorious Monday morning. Another week ahead. Hopefully you're excited about it, or hopefully you're not trudging off to the JOB. So if that's the case, this is for you, my friends. So I just want to give you a bit of backstory to today's Snapshots from the Summit. I have a new client, and with all new clients, I like to know their statement of affairs, so to speak, because you can't get to where you want to go unless you know where you are, right? So by statement of affairs, I mean their financial position. What are their assets? What are their liabilities? What are their spending patterns, etc. So we have a specific spreadsheet that we give to the clients, and the clients fill it out, right? So they fill it out based on, like I just said, their assets, their liabilities, spending habits, etc., etc. So the client shall remain nameless, but it's a, let's just say it's a recurring pattern that I see from people that are coming, well, it's from what I like to call the people that are in the 95%. So the 5% of the people that have got their shit together, who are financially, they've unlocked the vault, and they do extremely well when it comes to the ability to be able to generate income. Then we've got the 95% that basically spend 110% of whatever it is they earn. Now that's pretty much the case here in regards to this particular new client. So initially the reality is there's only two things you can do to increase your financial position, right? So this is what big business does. Doesn't matter whether you're turning over $100 million a year, $1 billion a year, there's only two ways to be able to generate more profit. At the end of the day, that's what we're all about, and that's having more money in the bank. That's it, right? When it comes to increasing your financial position, right? So two ways. One, you can cut costs, right? Two, you can generate more revenue or increase the amount of income that you've got coming in, right? There's one type of revenue that I am extremely enamored by, and that's the only way I look at generating additional income, but that's for another episode, right? So like I said, two ways: cut costs, generate additional revenue, right? You can only cut costs 100%, right? That's literally every cost that you've got, cut it, right? Once you've cut all your costs, you've got nowhere left to go, right? You've got nowhere left to go. Now, on a previous Snapshots from the Summit, I gave you the idea of how can you turn costs, or things that are currently classified as liabilities, cost, liability, same thing. How can you turn them into what either cost neutral, so they basically pay for themselves, or alternatively, how can you turn a cost or a liability into a profit center, right? So we eliminate the cost by turning it either cost neutral, so it pays for itself, or we turn it into a profit center, right? So that's one way of looking at potential costs. Going down that liabilities column and going, okay, what ways can I look at this cost or turn it into a potential revenue stream, right? The other way is, okay, most of you listening to this that don't have a business have got a job, right? So how can you generate additional revenue? How can you get more revenue coming in? So things you want to ask yourself are, what skill sets do I have, right? What skill sets do I have that I could freelance in the marketplace, right? So there are a number of websites available. There's Fiverr, there's Freelancer, there's all sorts of websites that you can go to, that if you've got specific skills that you at the moment are arbitraging to your employer, so you're actually giving those skills to your employer. But if you have particular skills that are valuable in the marketplace, and any skill you've got is valuable in the marketplace, there are people that are willing to pay you to do things for them. And there are websites dedicated to this. Like I said, Fiverr is one, Freelancer, Rent-A-Coder, Airtasker, there's a bazillion of them, just Google it, right? So that's one way of increasing your revenue, is basically freelancing your skill set out into the marketplace, right? Arbitraging. Are there things in your house that you are not using that you can sell, right? So are there things that you can go and buy and then buy them low and sell them high, right? So you arbitrage. That's the quickest way to make an extra $1,000, $5,000, right? By arbitraging. So buying things for nothing, and there's plenty of ways to do this. My partner does it all the time, goes to op shopping, picks up like name label things and arbitrages, gets them for a few cents or a couple of dollars, and then arbitrages them significantly, all right? So that's a quick way to generate additional revenue. But there's a multitude of them that are out of the context of this particular episode of Snapshots from the Summit. But the point I wanted to get across is, if you are financially in the hole, then one, there's only two ways to get out of it, right? One, cut costs, but cutting costs, you can only cut 100%. If you look at the other side of it, to generate additional revenue, it's infinite, the return that you can get. You can have multiple revenue streams coming in, right? There is no limit to the amount of revenue streams that you can have coming in, right? You can cut costs to 100%, but that's it, right? But you can add additional revenue streams for as much as your heart is content, okay? So that's today's point: to generate additional revenue or cut costs. Okay. Till next time, have an amazing day. I will talk to you again on the next episode of Snapshots from the Summit. If you need some help with what we just talked about, head on over to conqueryourEverest.today and see whether we can help you out. Have a good one. Till next time, have an amazing week ahead.